Ready? Set, go. Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you're all good. Today I have special guests with me. I have KP. You've met KP before in previous videos. You have Ola.
Brazil. Hey, thank God.
Today's video is basically a range of like topics slash questions slash wow, a lot of English is going on right now. Today's video.
Are you right? Are you right? Today, yeah.
So today's video, we're basically, what are we doing? So today's video is basically a uni 101 for if you're going to uni and you're a Christian, what you might want to know, what you might need. Just our tips and advice from the little that we've experienced. So the other day I asked a question on my Instagram. It was basically aimed at Christians going to uni or already at uni or been there, done uni. What you wish you had known or what you want to know. So we're just going to address some of the stuff that came up. Anyway, so yeah, let's go. Ooh. How do you combat getting stuck in the Christian bubble?
Wow. What's that?
Do you want me to just explain? Because I actually asked, when you say Christian bubble, what do you mean? So by Christian bubble, the person kind of meant like, because when you go to church and maybe you find your friends and it's a safe environment for you as a Christian because you know you won't be judged because everyone's like kind of the same. But then it's quite easy to find yourself just migrating to, okay, you only hang out with Christians, blah, 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 blah. But then we know that we were called here to save other souls, do you know what I mean?
Well,
This one's a bit
tricky. Well, first of all, I say it's not bad to have Christian friends.
True.
In the Bible it says that bad company corrupts good character. To be honest, you're never always going to be around them, especially because you do education, yeah? On your course you're going to meet people that are obviously not Christians. So when you do presentations, just generally when you're working together, this is when you can interact with these people. Through other societies as well. So like if you join like a music society, a sports society, you'll inevitably meet people that are not Christian. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's not bad to have that, but literally just being open as well. I have a lot of Christian friends, but then I have some friends that are not Christian, and that's just through education and through other societies. So yeah.
To be fair, if you actually deep it though, Jesus attracted sinners rather than religious people. So I guess it can also low-key be an indication that maybe you're not fully living like 100.
Wow.
I guess if you actually reflect, if the only people that want to hang out with me are other Christians, then maybe I'm not fully showing what the gospel is and fully living out like God's love and stuff.
Obviously, when you're in this Christian bubble, you're comfortable because you're meeting people who believe the same things. You're not going to be judged for what you believe. You're not going to be called moist or just, you know, have to really explain yourself because everyone already knows. The problem you might have if you keep yourself in a Christian bubble is that when you go out into those places, then you find it difficult to maybe socialize, or you kind of like become reclusive and you don't really try and mingle. You don't really try and mingle with people. You don't try and mingle with people because you're like, oh, they're not Christians, so they won't really get me. And sometimes it can actually be you being lazy because you don't really know how to make friends with people who maybe aren't thinking the same way you are. But you kind of have to remember that the reason you were put on this earth, yes, great, God loves you, the fact that you've been saved and you've given your life to him, but now someone else needs you to help them out in finding him and doing that. Yeah. So if you then decide to be reclusive, how then are they going to ever come into contact with this man called God? A lot out me.
Jesus' last words were go out and make disciples. And you can't make disciples of people that are already Christian. So yeah, man, you have to go and find these people.
So the next one is, how do I know if I found the right friends?
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyone? Any takers? Gotta think about that one still.
You will know that the friends that you have made are good or not by whether they're causing you to act out of the way that you would normally act. I don't know if that makes sense.
It's the truth.
So if you're compromising who you are or what you believe as a Christian, or even just as a person generally, then you need to start questioning, oh, why am I behaving like this, or why am I doing this? I feel sometimes we try and hold on to people because we're like, oh, maybe they're popular, so I can become popular. But if that's not you, bro,
tell them the truth.
You might have to dip, man. I'm sorry.
This is why, like now, especially my sister's going into, what year is she going to? Sixth form. She's going to learn sixth, right? And over this summer, she kind of
shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah,
shout out.
She found God for herself, if that makes sense. And I'm really happy that she did it in this period, because it means for the next 2 years she can kind of build her foundation in God. And I think that's something you really need when you're going to uni, because if we're reading the Bible, we kind of get to know what our character should be and the way we treat others. And so if our character should be that way, that's how other people should be treating you. The Bible talks about the things that you should be doing, like the characteristics you need to be looking out for when you're looking out for friends, any form of relationship that you have. So if you're meeting people that are contradictory to what God was saying in the Bible, then that's kind of an alert, if that makes sense. But at the same time, from experience, like going to uni, everyone comes and everyone is new, everyone's in a fresh environment, they've just left home. You know, everyone is essentially alone, unless you came with a group of friends from school, which is highly unlikely. So everyone low-key is going to be acting brand new, like, let's be real. And you won't necessarily get to know people's characters. And just like if you look back at your friendships from school, you spent 5-6 years with people at secondary school, primary school. It's taken you that long to get to know them. So you can't think that in first week, and I can tell you now, first week of uni, everyone is so friendly. Oh my gosh, hi, oh my gosh, your hair's so cute.
It's a lie, it's a lie.
It's a deception.
I can tell you now, there are people I remember in first week, right? Now, and I'm one of those people, I always wave at you across the street because I know you, because we've met, we've spoken. The amount of times I've been aired, you're like, oh. And also, it's not necessarily a bad thing to meet people who maybe you argue with later on, or, do you get what I mean when I say that? Because a lot of those situations where you have like bad situations with bad friends, you actually learn a lot more from it, you grow. So like any situation that I'd ever had with friends, it made me grow, it made me learn more about myself. Like it's not even a thing where you're sitting down being bitter about them. I'm thankful that I went through some of the things I went through, because it made me realize my character and things I lacked, things I had. And so it made me go away and just progress and be a better person. Good and bad will come, you just have to know how you're going to learn from each.
I thought to start.
I felt there was some work experience.
There was 100% work experience, and I was trying to branch it in some type of way.
The only thing I would say is like pray before going to uni for your friends.
Wow.
I mean, that was the most obvious one.
Like, I undermine prayer so much, but like pray for your friends and God will not fail you. Pray for your friends, pray for God to bring the right people at the right time, right place, right this, like, and God will not fail you.
Honestly.
If He doesn't give you anyone, then you're meant to be by yourself. And you're meant to be growing in that isolation.
And it might be painful, but it's for a reason. Freshers Week stigma. Do I have to go out?
Yes. I'm joking.
Can I go first on this one?
Go on.
Okay, so...
Why are you asking me? Is it just KP?
Oh my gosh. Everyone hears Freshers Week and it's just like... From the outside, it just sounds like some mad week where everyone is...
It's a deception!
No, but it is a bit mad still.
No, but it's still a deception. People think that the best time at uni will happen at the first Freshers Week.
It won't.
Thank you. Sorry.
First day... Anyway, first day you'll probably be crying at the fact that your parents have just left you in an unknown town and driven off. The common perception for Freshers Week is
that was too late.
Just a madness, basically. Thank you. Everyone going kind of crazy, getting drunk, going out. I remember before I was going to uni, first of all, I didn't really want to go. Second of all, the culture that I perceived, especially for Freshers Week, I was so worried because I was just like...
English, crazy. Sorry.
What did I even say?
The culture I perceived.
Oh my gosh, what am I going to do my first week? Because I don't drink. I don't particularly like to go out because I'll fall asleep in the club unless there's Afro beats. And yeah, I was just like, how am I going to go about this if everyone at uni is like this?
Just
I can tell you,
bashment.
oh, God forbid. I can tell you now, my first night, you go, but you buy that Freshers pack, right? I don't know who told me to go and buy that Freshers pack. But the first night, I had a ticket from the Freshers pack for moving in party. I dashed it to someone. I was like, hi, do you want a ticket? Yeah, take it. And I stayed inside. Best night ever. I cried. It was tragic. What were you talking about? What's the question? Anyway, no, you don't have to go out, because Freshers Week isn't just clubbing. There's Freshers Fair. There are loads of society things going on. Your churches will be doing stuff.
Pensa.
Prezzo. People.
Prezzo.
Oh my
Wait, God, I'm no.
As everyone always says, there are hundreds of societies. So any society that's catered to you, or any society that you feel has what you're looking for, will be doing something, and it won't necessarily be in a club or in a bar or in a wherever, anywhere that you're uncomfortable. So everyone will be doing things. You just have to look out for the right things, and you definitely don't have to go out. Trust me, I slept the whole week.
Best believe, yeah, Freshers Week, I chilled in my room the whole week.
Did you leave it? Or?
Like, I went to induction. I think I went to like 2 societies. Best believe I didn't. Guys, what's it like honorary? Yeah? Like, this is actually the weirdest thing, yeah. What's it called? When I say this to people, yeah, they're like, are you alright?
Can't relate.
Like, I said this to my family at Christmas, yeah, not like my whole cousins, everything. They're like, huh? Like this.
Oh, you mean genuinely that you're asking what is a club?
Like,
you've never stepped inside one?
What is? No. This is the only genuine question in my life. What's it called? Yeah, man, you don't have to. Myself, you don't have to. Like, I turned out fine. But then, I had other things that took up my time. That kind of helped. Some of my best times. This is over the whole year though. Were not. It was just being with other people.
People basically say to you, you have to go out on Freshers Week because you won't make friends.
It's a lie.
It's like, how are you going to make friends in a club when the music is loud and someone's drunk? They're not going to remember you the next day, quite frankly.
It's a lie.
No, Freshers Week, I think I did go out a few times. I actually didn't go out that much as you might think I did. I was too active in first year. But go if you want to go out, don't go out if you don't want to go out. But just know yourself.
That's it.
We spoke about clubbing in another video, Diary of a Young Christian. How do I find a church? I feel like I could write a Portsmouth review for every church. First year, every weekend I was at a different church.
Wow.
Every weekend.
How did you find yours?
It's fun. So basically, yeah, I had a friend that I came to uni with, and she was like, oh, there's this church. So I was like, okay, I'll follow you. This was on the first Sunday, so I followed her to church. It was cool, and I actually liked it. But then me being me, because the church was far, and it was at 6 PM, I didn't always go. And then I found another church. That one I just went. Like, the church was alright. But I think I was just going because of friends.
Oh.
But it was going good. And then there was a little, structure change. The church, it just wasn't like doing it for me as much as before. And I knew that I had to leave, and go back to the church I was at. But I was just like, I was just being lazy. And I was like, because also I was serving at the church I was at. So I was like, oh, don't really want to leave. Then my sister got onto me, and she was like, come on, you need to pattern up. And also, like, I feel like I was kind of disobeying God as well. But it's funny because I'd never really been to other churches. I literally just been to these 2 churches. Like, I'd visited other churches and they were good, but I just knew they weren't really for me. Now, I think I've been to every church in Portsmouth. It was only literally February this year that I was like, you need to dip from the one that you're at. But you just have to be obedient, and you also have to pray about it. And also, if you feel led to leave somewhere or to go somewhere, just go. Don't be afraid to do it. And ask other people as well. And like, sometimes you feel like you're used to something, but sometimes God wants you to experience something new. So don't be afraid to go to that as well. So let's say you're used to like a black. Yeah, everybody blow your trumpet.
Yeah, banana.
But then God wants you to go to it is well with my soul. It is well. Like, don't be afraid to, you know what I'm saying?
Switch up.
Because we're British, we could be so like obliged. Like, you might walk into a church, well clearly you had none of these issues.
But sometimes just man wait until
I'd walk into church and they'll be like, oh my god, and like they find out like I play drums, or like I've been to Hillsong, and they're like, oh my gosh, like you could do this, that, this and that and this, and I'm like, oh, can they like, like I could be helpful. But it's like, it's not by force. So I remember before I went to uni, a friend of mine had already been to that uni, she'd already been in a church, and she was like, go to this church, and I was like, oh yeah, 100%, like I'll go check out the church. And I checked it out and it was really good. Same church as you actually, 6 PM. And I loved it. And I loved it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be church. But it was far.
Listen. That thing, oh my gosh.
When I went to Freshers Fair, the Christian Union guys had like a leaflet of like all the churches in Portsmouth. I remember flicking through and then I like came across this one church and it was like a new church, like a new plant. And I felt it. I was like, wow, like a fresh new church, like freshly planted, like I just wanted to get involved so badly. And I remember I prayed over it and everything, like in my heart I knew I have to be there. Prayer 100%. And don't feel obliged, like do what you have to do. Dip if you have to dip. Delete their numbers if you have to delete. Cut the group chat if you have to cut. Unfriend on Facebook if you have to. Unfollow Insta if you have to. You get me? Unsubscribe from the emails if you have to.
My family, Catholic church, so that's all I've grown up ever knowing. In my GCSE summer, I experienced a non-denominational church.
Hillsong, gang, shout out, Hillsong London.
So, yeah, like I said, I church hopped. And every time you get to one, you kind of feel like, oh. And then, that was me. I don't know, I felt something and I was very open to like what it was going to be like. Went to this one, it wasn't really working. Went to this one, it wasn't really working. In every church, I just didn't feel settled and I just felt something. It just was off. And then, like the last couple of weeks of uni, I went to a church. It just felt right. Like, do you know what I mean? It sat well within my soul. Like, genuinely, like, it was just like,
nice.
Like I really just felt like, no, this is home. So yeah, I think it's just one of those things when you get to that church that is for you, as well as prayer and everything else that these two have said, you just kind of feel settled. You'll feel it. I'm a gutsy person. I just feel it.
It's got the Holy Spirit. Come on, man. Spiritually correct.
Isn't it? Wait, also, real talk, I'm sorry. Especially people that like serve on teams at their home church. When you go to uni, don't be acting like you could be moving mad at myself. Like, actually get plugged in a church in uni, like, not just Sunday, but like, you know, be on the team, like.
Although, don't feel like you have to, right at the beginning, like in the first 10 minutes of being in church, hi, I sing, or hi, I play drums, or hi, I do this.
Take time.
Yeah, take time. Like, sometimes let ourselves to receive and be like, okay, is this for me? And then, once you're like that, then, okay, plug yourself in.
Studying a degree I've never done before, I am worried.
Basically, yeah.
Basically.
So let's say you just something that you've done before, yeah, it's still hard. So I think it's just how much work you put in. And I don't think you would choose that degree if you don't have an interest in it. So that I think that interest will then push you to want to work hard for it. I started thinking, I'm paying $9,250 not to use my lectures. So I have to start annoying my lecturers and be like, no, I need help because I'm paying you to do this.
And if they're not responding to emails, email again.
Patter them.
Go and knock on the door.
Because you're paying for them.
Open it.
Honestly.
Enter.
Honestly.
You even have someone's number.
The debt doesn't go to them, the debt goes to you. So
I study sciences at A-level, then went to do law. You get to uni and you realise that no one's going to spoon feed you anymore. Like, you have to be... When people say reading journals, I never realised what it meant until uni. And you actually have to be doing... My dad all my life was like, Jocelyn, you need to be doing some outside reading. When you come home, pick up a book, read it. I was like, what are you going to research about this? I was just like, no one's got time for that on top of A-levels. Now I understand that for a degree you actually have to be doing a lot of outside reading, journal reading. You have to put in the work. Second year I took God more into my second year than I probably did even consider him in first year. You kind of need to remember that when you're surrendering your life to God, it's not just in my emotions and in my this. It's like everything, every kind of aspect. So that includes your education. When you're praying for wisdom, also pray for wisdom in your what am I doing?
Education?
In your education, in the coursework that you're doing. He'll help you. Like, you don't even know from the beginning. When you can start coursework and be like, what is this? Where do we start? And then just chat to him and like be like, how do we swim our way through this? That's what I did, especially for exam period. I was just like, I'm not going to stress. These exams are not going to kill me. I'm going to enter and I'm going to know my stuff.
Jeez.
And this second year, I felt the difference in taking God with me through exam period, particularly because me and exams, and how I did it in first year. And it turned out pretty darn well.
what did you get?
God first.
What did you? Wow! I'm trying to
The two biggest things for me in terms of actual degree-wise at uni, number one is always with God and not stressing. I think that's my number one thing. If you catch me exam time, I'll tell you I'm not stressed. Even if I feel stressed, I will declare with my mouth, I'm not stressed. And I even tell God, like, if I get stressed, like, give me more stressful opportunities so I can learn to not be stressed.
Get your friend that doesn't stress.
True. And that was actually going to be my second point, friends. I found a tight, shout out to my G's, a tight group of friends on my course. I do pharmacy, yeah. When you're not at lectures, I have a chart, yeah, with our names on it. And when you miss a lecture, we put a tally on. Like, it's that deep. Like, everyone is on job with each other. Like, get friends that are on job and on the same, like, path that you want to be on. $9,000 for a third or a fail.
Oh,
Not an option. It's not an
Not
option.
you.
It's only you that will suffer in the end, I promise you.
Can you imagine?
It's not, no, please.
That's a mockery, fam.
With the friends thing, don't be afraid to separate yourselves. If you don't work well with your best friend, bounce. Like, I'm really sorry, I love you, but I'll see you after exam.
Honestly. Also, go start as you mean to go. Uni, you can grow a lot. Like, there's a quote that says uni can make you or break you. Make sure uni's making you. Honestly, the growth I've done, like, I've never got for time, but I've grown the most at uni.
I just wish I was more serious at the start in terms of what God can do through me at uni. I think like now, like say now I'm super pumped to go back to uni because like I feel like God's gonna do a lot more, but like I'm like, oh, I wish I just had that mentality from year one that I actually thought about uni, I guess like as a wilderness, like that we can actually claim for God rather than just go and be like, oh, I'm gonna go get my degree, I'm gonna, you know, go out, I'm gonna be away from my parents. Like, actually be there and be like, I'm actually going in as a soldier for Christ. I wish I had that mentality from the start, like, go in and claim back territory. Like, why can't we go back to uni and get like the whole uni saved? Why not?
I wish I had accepted the fact that I'd been placed accordingly. Like, that is where you were supposed to be. Because my A-level, like, results day, KP called me in the morning and I'd already received my first rejection from
she goes, I'm like, oh, so what you did, like, what uni you go to, or what are you up to? She's like,
basically, I'm not going to uni.
And it was just the defeat in her voice. I was like, Che, just sort yourself out. Like,
She actually just cut me off the phone. She was like, call me when you're serious, and cut me off the phone. And that was like, I hadn't even like got my results. I just received my rejection from my firm. But then going through the clearing process and whatever, IUNIS was the one I called first actually, and they accepted me. And it's funny because I rejected them in my 5, and they took me back on the course combination that I wanted to do, which was mad. First day of uni, I was sitting with a few people, like we decided we were going to go and find something to eat, and they were all on my course. IUNI was either their firm or their insurance for law with IR, and a lot of them were like, yeah, but on results day they switched it, so because they said that we didn't get the grades to do law with IR, we have to do law with business, so we have to do law straight. And so I was like, oh, what grades did you get? When they were saying that they did way better than I did, but somehow I managed to get on law with IR, I was like, that's when I sat there and I was like, no, Johnson, you need to keep quiet and sit down and enjoy this uni because God really missed you.
Either way, God was all in there, so it worked out.
And I know He placed you there because I needed you.
Bruh. When I say, listen, our uni's serious when it comes to God, you know. I don't really know a lot of unis that are like this, so.
Yeah. Do you know how many people I hear from outside always looking up to Pensa in Portsmouth?
It's mad, isn't it?
It's mad. Portsmouth Pensa, it's mad. When people, that one and gospel choir.
Hey! PGC! What?
But yeah, I'd say like, even if you go into a place that you think you're not meant to be, God always has a plan for you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like, I saw Jeremiah 29, like, for I know the plans for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope in the future. I think the uni experience for each of us shows that verse in reality, and we're all doing well in our degree.
Okay guys, that was the end of the video. Thank you for watching.
I hope you enjoyed the video with KP and Ola. And
anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. This is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you got something from it, and that you're going to uni a bit more filled with excitement, expectancy,
and prayer.
That one too. Message, drop a comment if you've got any other questions or anything that you want to know about. That one, what I just said. Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Share, comment, subscribe.
Share.
What are you doing now? You're messing up. No, you're messing up. Like, comment, subscribe. Share it with your friends. Yeah.
go.